Hey, welcome to
Doceree Dialogue,
a platform that unites industry leaders come together and exchange ideas, innovation, and insights.
shaping the future of healthcare marketing. Well, Zoe, great to see you here.
It's so great to see you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat.
I'm so grateful for the request.
Oh, super, super. Well, for our listeners, tell them who you are, what you do, and why you're here at Fierce Pharma.
So I am Zoe Dunn. I'm the president and CEO of Hale Advisors. I've had the company about 15 years, and we specialize in marketing governance for the life science industry. We create a lot of standards and guidelines and training, really to ensure that marketing is compliant and kind of keeps the companies safe that are doing the marketing, but also follows the rules. So it's kind of a niche area of the industry. It's important to me. I really love digital marketing, and I feel like maybe as an industry, we would continue to innovate and do more in it if we could figure out how to do it and, not get a letter for it, for doing it. So
Fantastic. You've been doing it for 15 years now.
I've been doing this company for 15 years, but I've been in the industry about 30 now.
Gosh, really?
I know. I started when I was 4.
Yeah.
And so here we are. It's been a journey. Yeah.
Amazing. So, look, things have changed so much in the last 5 years even.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any changes? Are the clients changing things, or are you still sort of, yeah, that's all well and good, but we've got this process that we're doing.
So we work very closely with FDA and OPDP, or had up until, the current administration made some changes.
Mhm.
And a lot of the folks that we worked with at OPDP, there was a select group called DPRO, or PPRO is what the acronym was. They were really responsible for the strategy behind submissions for promotional materials. And they really helped work with the reviewers on making sure that they understood many of the submissions, especially in the newer communications channels and with the newer approaches, things like AI or modular content and omnichannel, even social media and different kind of areas. And so we spent a lot of time trying to strategize on how to make sure companies could do those innovations. Obviously, a lot of the changes that have happened from a government perspective mean, I don't know what the industry is going to do from that regard. There's still reviewers reviewing 2253 submissions, but it's there's a lot of chaos out there, honestly. So from that perspective, I also think there's a lot of pressure on DTC communications. This is something that the current administration or certainly the current secretary of HHS is not a big fan of DTC communications, but that's been happening for a while. I think that move towards, in the US, really changing the way that companies, manufacturers can speak to consumers. There's been a lot of pressure on that. So I think there's a lot of changes coming down the road. In the meantime, well, I think the industry keeps going. People keep getting sick. We keep making medicines to help them get better.
That's
There's so much incredible innovation in medicine going on right now. And I truly hope that continues. I'm disappointed that the mRNA changes have happened. I've met some incredible scientists working in that area, and
But I think,
we'll see what happens.
as you said, it ebbs and flows. Yeah. It'll depend on, the next 3 years or so. But I'm seeing a lot of shifting going away from the US research companies and research bases
Absolutely.
to India and the UK and China and places
We'll
like
feel that void, right? There's
Exactly.
great scientists all over the world. It's not just in the US, And so that will continue to go on, whoever it is. But, is the way that it affects commercial marketing, in the US, who knows?
Yeah.
You know,
So let me ask a question. You've now seen Fierce, been around a little bit, seen some of the people.
I was actually involved in the development of the first digital pharma East
I remember that.
20 years or so.
I sent a note to Jason and Warren saying I miss you guys.
We missed them so much. We missed them so much.
It was some crazy times.
Yeah, they were great.
What have you seen here over the last 4 or 5 hours that you sort of go, whoa, this is amazing, or this is new?
So I was really privileged to be able to lead a workshop yesterday for rising stars. Many companies submitted, and we had them from across the different areas as well. So we had medical affairs folks, PR and communications folks, marketing, of course, and commercial folks who had been elevated by their companies, who recognize them. Most of them are only 1 to 3 years, maybe not in industry, but in their role. And so we led a workshop for them, and they're kind of floating around here, today. And so that's really exciting. It's our second year of doing that. And I love the opportunity. They're all so enthusiastic to introduce them to this, crazy world and to see them go forth and see all the great content. In the last 4 or 5 hours, I think, look, the technology evolution for this conference it's on steroids. It's incredible. The folks who are here at the exhibit hall, including yourselves, Doceree is amazing. It's revolutionary what everyone is doing, how they're leveraging this technology. AI is all we hear about. It's kind of taking over everything. That's like going to solve all of our woes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great dialogue, a lot of great presentations from the main stage about, the impacts, how commercial marketing is changing. And that's kind of what I've heard.
I think, now that, because we've got a plethora of channels and platforms now, more than ever.
Yeah.
I still see pharma sticking to the tried and trusted 4 or 5.
Probably, yeah.
Is that more of a regulatory thing, do you think? Or is it a conservative nature of the...
An agency thing and a budget thing.
Oh, really?
I actually feel like marketing budgets have gotten compressed.
Nothing.
Do
more with less.
Do more with less.
Interesting.
Which is a great opportunity for a lot of companies that really are leveraging technology, right? You can do more with less with greater technology.
Yes.
So, and I do feel like the agencies are the ones who are, nothing against agencies at all. They are the ones who are making recommendations for channels that they have already seen success in, especially they get the perspective of seeing many types of manufacturers using those same channels, and they want what's best for their clients, right?
Also for the money as well.
That's right. They want to win, right? So I think they tend to make recommendations in safer areas like you're talking about. I mean, you were on the agency side forever and ever and ever. And that's probably what you would recommend to your clients. Like, let's go with what works. If you have anything left over, let's try something new and innovative on top of that.
Is the industry ready for more innovations? Particularly with AI coming through, I think we're going to be forced to rethink a few things. What are you seeing with your clients?
So the thing I've been talking the most about when it comes to AI, the thing that I think we're going to have to get ahead of, it harkens back to 2016, I was in Washington, D.C. with the FDA for the hearings. They had a 2-day hearing on correction of misinformation before they came out with the guidance around that. There was a lot of discussion around the responsibility of pharma in, correcting or owning information that was incorrect in the vast worldwide web, right? And ultimately, thank goodness, the decision came down. Look, if it's not a property you manage and maintain, if it's not an influencer you have bought and paid for, if it's not marketing channel that you are using, then you're not responsible. You can't police the entire interwebs. It's the Wild West out there, and you shouldn't be responsible. But if it enters your, purview, then you should do what you can to try to correct that. I think the same is going to be true of AI. So now, anytime I do a search, right, Google search for anything, AI is more than happy to serve up a summary of what it thinks I need to know.
Yep.
And where that's terrifying is it is taking all of our good hard work around that scientific information that we are required to present in a very specific way. And it is like the Cliff Notes version of that. That should strike fear into everyone's hearts.
Yeah.
Because what is our responsibility to the AI? If the AI only lists a fraction of the side effects that are required to be communicated, or a fraction of the treatment protocol that we would recommend, or a fraction of the information that you should use to make an informed decision about your care, that's a problem.
Yep.
And so I think as an industry, we need to think about that from a communication perspective, from an emotional communication perspective.
I think we focus very narrowly and squarely, because we're a global company, on the healthcare profession.
Yeah.
We really haven't done anything on the patient side, yet the others do.
Absolutely.
Because the market is obviously global for us. What I've noticed is more and more people are looking at how can I engage that doctor and teach them, because do not call is on the rise, right?
Right.
60% of hospitals now in this country have the not call. So how are you educating your customer? Because the customer really is a doctor.
Absolutely. Always. That first and foremost. First and foremost.
Are you seeing any changes there in people's behavior? Because it used to be the rep, but the rep can't get in anymore.
No, the rep can't get in.
Right. So
They have no access.
exactly.
So, I would say the same. I mean, how many times have I been to a doctor's appointment where they've said, let's look at Wikipedia?
Scary, right?
It's terrifying. So I actually feel like the same holds true.
Okay.
If consumers are using AI, then physicians are using AI.
That's right. Because they're consumers as well, right?
And they're trying, physicians are notorious for, I need the least amount of information so I can move on, so I can make a decision and move on.
Right.
So again, I feel like we need to be ahead of that curve in figuring out how to communicate more effectively with HCPs, get them the information they need, maybe embrace AI in that, right? Instead of saying, oh no, well, we'll kind of hang out over here and wait and see what happens.
The question will be, how do you get medical and legal to approve this, right?
That is always the
That's
question.
really.
And what our experience has been, so we've worked on several standards for AI, creative, we've worked on Gen AI chatbot guidelines. So we've worked on several different AI for the workflow, like how you're utilizing AI. There's a lot of companies out there who are promising AI to shorten or simplify the promotional review process. It's somewhat not maybe one day, but I don't know right now. But here's what I think. I think there's a really great opportunity to leverage AI, but we're gonna have to prove it to our promotional review teams. It's kind of like social media in a way. They required us in the old days.
I remember those days.
What if somebody posts a comment we don't like? How are we going to deal with that? So there is a sense of monitoring and moderation. Not moderation like less, but moderating that conversation. That we need to be able to prove that we are being proactive about it, right? And I think how we do that, I think digital is our friend. That it's gonna be being there with the information at the ready, in a format that is easy to absorb, and that's what I think we can do is just be more proactive in that. I know you all do a great job in that. Isn't that providing that information as well?
I think, one of the things we launched here this week as a new feature is an agentic AI rep.
Amazing.
So the rep is completely trained on MLR approved content.
Right.
Everything about the brand, dosing, prescribing, MLA, questions, all of those things.
Yeah.
And then you can deploy it in anywhere. Banner ad, you can deploy it and send it via email, whatever, right?
That's
so I think
incredible.
Those things like that, and I think it could be really useful in helping you get to the doctors and educating them.
Absolutely.
Right?
Let us know if you need any help convincing the companies. Okay. Because honestly, those are the questions.
Yes.
We see MLR asking. They want to know, well, that's great, but what happens if it hallucinates?
Yes.
And the training is everything.
Yep.
The training is everything, but nothing is 100% foolproof ever, because if it was 100% foolproof, it wouldn't be Gen AI. It would just be a chatbot.
There you go.
Giving you canned responses. So there is some kind of natural evolution to it. And so, you can do what you can do. It's just like in social media. We can't prevent everything, but one would hope that we are doing everything around that social media post to provide the best information.
I remember presenting to the Novartis MLR team back in 2011. I think.
Yes.
And one of the big things they were afraid of people sharing with others, right?
Absolutely. They're like, so an idea now.
Exactly. Right? So I walked in where I found the Washington Post and they had a quarter-page ad for a Novartis drug.
Okay.
So I walked in with that.
Yeah.
I ripped the page off.
Yeah.
I got a sticky, stuck it on there, wrote on it, hey, you should check this out.
Yeah.
Gave it to somebody.
Yeah.
I said, there, I've just shared something.
I just shared it. How proprietary is that now?
Great. Oh, okay. That's how it was.
Such a great point, right, Tash. It's just a different perspective. So our concerns right now are going to prove to be low concern, I think, down the road. I mean, I always suggest if you're talking about communicating with healthcare professionals, I would like to think that this healthcare professional is going to do their research, that they're not just going to take everything at full face value that an AI bot told them, right? They're going to use that the way that we should all be using AI, which is a great starting place for getting to the information that we want to get to. We're going to refine that output and before we apply it. And so MLR needs to recognize that, yeah, sure, we're not going to be able to correct for everything. But this is a great step in getting this critical information to the physician when they want it, just in time, in the way that's going to be most useful to them. And maybe we'll have to deal with a few things along the way. All you can do is the best you can. Remember how I mentioned that her DPro, OPDP was doing strategy. One of the things they were trying to solve for is AI, is, helping the reviewers there, 2253 submissions, reviewers, understand what are the parameters that companies like yours are going to be submitting these type of programs through. What do they have to be concerned about? And they always say the same thing, FDA, and I hope they will continue to do so. Intent is half the battle.
Yep.
So we're trying to use this important channel and also try to plan ahead for things that may not work the way we'd like them to. But that's the intent. The intent is not to cherry pick information or undermine the validity of the claim or reference that we're presenting. It is to try to get this important information out there. So lighten up.
Yep. Totally agree. So we've got about a minute left.
Okay.
We've just focused a lot on AI, but anything else that you sort of see or you think about that you say, you know what, in the next 10 to 12 months?
So it would be around omni-channel and modular content.
Okay.
I mean, we've been talking about this for years. Forever. I actually do think we're getting closer. I see more companies really not just titling their centers of excellence omni-channel, but actually investing in the tools and technology to really bring it to life, to try to better personalize their communications. I see more pilots happening in the marketplace and more people strategically trying to develop that modularized content to better target and personalize their message. So I actually think that, forget AI for a second, that is more relevant.
I think so too, because once you have it, then you can use channels like Doceree to serve it at the moment in time the doctor needs it.
Absolutely.
But if you don't have the content, the platform doesn't matter, right?
Exactly right. It's all about content is king. That's like marketing 101.
Well, we're still there, unfortunately, after 20 years of trying to convince them.
That's not a bad thing.
But that's a good thing. It's
Keeps us employed.
exactly right. So, Zoe, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Hope this was useful.
It was. Thank you.